Hey there, Angular folks, and welcome back. Signal forms had a hidden problem with number inputs until version 21.2 quietly fixed it. And there's a very specific reason Angular handled this the way it did. Let me show you exactly what this looked like before, and then follow it up with how it works now. All right, here we have a simple sign-up form. It has a username and email field. Then, down at the bottom, I'm outputting the form model value so we can see exactly what's happening in real time as we interact with the form. Now, let's say we want to add an age field to this form. Seems simple enough, right? Just add a number field. Well, this is where things get interesting. Let's switch over to the TypeScript for this component. Here in the signup model interface, this defines the shape of our form data. Right now, we have username and email fields that are both string values. So now we want to add a new property for age. And since this is a number field, I'll type it as a number. Now, let's scroll down to the model signal. This signal represents the source of truth for our form state. We need to add the age field and initialize it with some value. The simplest thing we can do is initialize it to 0. Now, let's also add validation for this field. Inside the form configuration function, I'll add a required validator for age. This ensures the user must provide a value. Now let's switch over to the HTML. Inside the form here, I'll add a new div with the class field, just like the other inputs. First, I'll create a local variable called age, using the let syntax to store this field state so that we can access it easier when needed. Then I'll define another variable called showAgeError. This ensures we only show errors after the user interacts with the field. Now let's add a label. Then let's add the input itself. It will be a number type. And we'll add the form field directive to connect the input to our signal form control. Now we need to add error validation messages. We'll use our showAgeError variable for this. Then we'll use a for block to iterate over errors. And then we'll display the string interpolated value of the error message. All right, that should be everything we need, so let's save and check it out. Back in the browser, you can see something immediately. The age field already contains 0. And if you look at the model output below, age is also 0. But 0 is probably not actually the user's age. It's just a placeholder value. And this creates ambiguity. We can't tell the difference between the user entering 0 and the user not entering anything at all. Now, if I clear the field completely, we get the validation error, which is good. And the model value becomes null. But we still started with 0, which isn't really ideal. So let's try another approach. Let's switch back over to the component TypeScript. One way we can fix this is, instead of forcing age to always be a number, I'll allow it to be either a number or a string this time. Then down in the model signal, instead of initializing it to 0, I'll initialize it to an empty string. Okay, now let's save and check this out in the browser. Perfect, now the field starts out empty. And the model output also shows an empty string value. Then if I type in a value, it works too. But now we've created a different problem. From a TypeScript perspective, age might be a string now, which means we've lost type safety. And if you're building a real application, this can lead to bugs and extra conversion logic. So let's try another option. Let's go back to the TypeScript. I'll remove string from the type, so age is just a number again. Instead of initializing it to an empty string this time, I'll initialize it to NaN, which means not a number. Okay, now let's save and try this out. Nice, the field still starts empty. And in the model output, we see null. This works better, but not a number is really just a workaround. It's not semantically correct. It's basically saying this isn't a number, but also it kind of is. This worked because number inputs in the browser always produce either a number or null, but Angular didn't originally support null as a valid model value. So developers used it as a workaround, which brings us to the proper solution. As of Angular 21.2 RC0, signal forms officially support null for number inputs, which means the form model can finally represent an empty numeric field correctly. So let's switch back to the TypeScript. First, I'll update the interface to include null as an option. Then, in the model signal, I'll initialize it to null. That's it. This makes validation cleaner, prevents accidental default values, and keeps your form state aligned with real database models. Now let's save and check it out. All right, the field still starts out empty. And the model value is null. This is exactly what we want. Null clearly represents the absence of a value. No hacks, no ambiguity, no loss of type safety. Just clean, predictable form state. So here's the takeaway. Before Angular 21.2, handling number inputs in signal forms required compromises. We had to use zero or empty strings or not a number hacks. But now, number fields properly support null, which means your forms can now represent empty numeric values correctly while preserving full TypeScript safety. If you're building forms with signal forms, this is now the correct approach. All right, if you want to stay current with modern Angular features like this, subscribe. I release new Angular tutorials every week. And hey, if you want to help support the channel, check out the Shieldworks gear linked below. It's built for Angular developers like you who take great pride in their work. All right, that's all for today. I'll see you in the next one.